This video is about putting a common factor outside brackets, which is one of the techniques you will need to factorize expressions. Let's look at this expression, 6a plus 9b. We are going to factorize this expression, and that means that we're going to write the expression in as many factors as possible. In order to do this, we use a few steps. And the first one is to write down the separate terms 6a and 9b, and to write those terms down in as many factors as possible. For the numbers, we use prime factorization. 6 is equal to 2 times 3, and we just write down times a behind it. 9 is equal to 3 times 3, and b remains the same. Now we note that in both factorizations of these two terms there is a 3. There's a 3 in this one and there's a 3 in that one. So that means that the two expressions can be written down as 3 times something else. So this one becomes 3 times 2a, and this one becomes 3 times 3b. And that means that we can write down this expression, which is both terms, as 3 open brackets times 2a for the first one plus 3b for the second one. This way we wrote the common factor 3, because both terms had the 3 in common. We wrote the common factor 3 outside the brackets. The next example is 12ab minus 18b squared. Note that there is a minus sign in this example, but this minus sign does not change much about the method, but we will have to remember that it exists. First we start with writing down these two terms separately. So we have 12ab and 18b squared. 12 is equal to 2 times 2 times 3, and ab is factorized. 18 is equal to 2 times 3 times 3 times b squared, and that's b times b. Now our next step is to find common factors. We can see that there's a 2 in this factorization and there is a 2 in this factorization. Now there's another 2 in this one, but we already used this one and there's no second one, so they don't have the other 2 in common as well, but they do have a 3 in common. And they also have a b in common. So that means that we can write down these terms as 2 times 3 times b times 2a and 2 times 3 times b times 3b. So the common factor is 6b, so we write that down. We open the brackets, and we have 2a and 3b. And since there's a minus sign here, there should also be a minus sign there. So 6b times 2a minus 3b. Once more in summary, in order to put a common factor outside brackets, you first determine what is the common factor. We did that here by writing down the terms, factorizing the entire term, and then find the common factor. But once you get more practice, you can probably skip these two steps and just write down the common factor.